Hey, and welcome back to Riley's Library's 12 Days of Bookmas. Today I am telling you my 2023 anticipated releases. So there are a few more books that I probably have that I overlooked, but I did compile a semi-small list of books that I know I'm excited to read that come out in 2023, and so I'm going to go through them. I will tell you their release date as of now because that can always change, and kind of what they're about. So let's get into it. So the first book is one I'm very excited about because I just read Babel and I love R.F. Kuang. I'll read anything she writes, and that is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Essentially what this book is about is we have Athena and June, who are both debut novelists. They both went to Yale together, I think, and June's paperback does not sell. Athena's does. And then Athena dies. June witnesses this, and June takes Athena's unfinished latest novel and claims it as her own, edits it, gives it to her publisher, and essentially pretends that she is Asian American and she is not. And then evidence starts coming out to kind of prove that June did not write this book, and it is her trying to basically save face and not get exposed for stealing this novel from her dead friend and for pretending to be Asian. I know this is going to be a work of art because R.F. Kuang wrote it, and that's all I need to know about the book, honestly. So as of right now, Yellowface by R.F. Kuang is set to release May 16th, 2023. So that is where you will find it in stores. Okay, so the next book is Warrior Girl Unearthed. This is the same author who wrote Firekeeper's Daughter, and I think that this is maybe like her sister. I can't remember, I read it so long ago. But it is someone in the same family from the Firekeeper's Daughter book. And so in this one, essentially, they are trying to get back the bones and artifacts that are from one of their ancestors that have been given to these museums, and they want to bring them back home because they are Native American, and they want their stuff back because, you know what? America has just taken everything. Honestly, I don't even get started on that. But essentially they go on this mission to try and get all of her bones and artifacts back to bring them home, and they decide that they're going to have to pull off a heist in order to do this. I really liked Firekeeper's Daughter, which is the reason why I want to read this book, and why I'm kind of excited about it. But Warrior Girl Unearthed, it currently is set to come out on May 2nd, 2023. Okay, the next one is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I know a lot of people got ARCs of this. I have not at this current date. So essentially we have this couple who has broken up 6 months ago, and they have not told any of their friends, and now they are on this vacation still pretending to be a couple. And I'm gonna assume they're gonna fall back in love because that's how Emily Henry books go. I've loved every Emily Henry book that I have read, so I am down for anything, and I will definitely be reading it. But this right now is set to come out on April 25th of 2023. Next up, we have Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second book in the Alex Stern series. The first one, oh my gosh, what is the name of the first book? I cannot even remember. It's the one with the snake on it. Ninth House. That was a really good book. I read that on my plane ride to Michigan when I went to Michigan a couple summers ago, and I really enjoyed it. It's got a cool magic world, and Leigh Bardugo, I'll read anything she writes. So this is just the follow-up, the sequel to that book, and it is set to come out on January 10th of 2023, so that's pretty soon. Okay, the next book is The Stolen Heir by Holly Black, which is going back into the Cruel Prince world. I think it's 8 years after the events of the last book in the Cruel Prince series, Queen of Nothing. And essentially, I can't remember, I don't exactly know where this girl fits in, but she, I don't know. There's a girl, this is so bad and I'm sorry, that fled after all of these events, that I think she was supposed to be an heir or a queen or something to like one of the little realms, and she's been on the run and someone is chasing after her, and who saves her? Oak from Cruel Prince. And that's the only reason I'm gonna read this book. I have no idea what it's about. Clearly, obviously, I don't know what it's about, but it's Oak, the little brother from the Cruel Prince series, and he is now 18. And I think it's gonna be a romance between him and this girl, so I'm reading for Oak and Oak alone. But this book is set to come out on January 3rd of 2023. Next, we have How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I got really into Grady Hendrix like 2 years ago. I've read a lot of his books already, and so anything he writes, I will be excited about. Okay, so this essentially is about siblings who their parents died from COVID, and I hate that books are now using COVID because it just doesn't feel like it should be happening, but this is what this is about. And they want to move on. They need financial help, and so they want to sell their childhood home. Before their parents died, they had put tape over all like the mirrors and stuff in the house, which is suspicious, and disturbing events start happening because the house is apparently haunted, and so they're attempting to sell the house, and maybe they cannot. I will literally read anything he writes. I love his horror novels, so I'm excited about this, and there's not an exact release date for this that I could find, but I know it comes out in 2023. Next one is In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune, who wrote House in the Cerulean Sea and The Whispering Door, which I have read both of those and I adore them. So of course he's writing another book and I will be reading it. Okay, so essentially I think they're in a forest. There's a like robot who takes in maybe other robots, yes, and like fixes them up, gives them a home. He gets taken away, and so the rest of them have to go, you know, find him and bring him back home to save their family. It's inspired by Pinocchio. On Goodreads, it says Swiss Family Robinson meets Wally, and I love Wally. So I'm excited. I think it'll be good. I think anything that he writes is good and heartwarming in the end, so I'm definitely going to be picking that up when it comes out. And it is set to release on April 25th, 2023. Okay, so the next one is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. As you know, I loved The Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain. Although reading what this is about, it feels like it's starting to really be too much of the exact same story. But essentially we have a girl. Okay, so she's trying to get a job at MIT, and the man who ruined her mentor's whole career is the one who's on the board for hiring at MIT, and so he's standing between her and her dream job, and I'm sure that they will fall in love as one does in Ali Hazelwood book. And of course, again, she's a physicist, I think, so science as usual. This is set to come out on June 13th of 2023. Next, we have Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I read Every Summer After, I think is what it's called, by her this past summer, and I really liked that book, so I will again be reading another book by her just because I liked the first one so much. So essentially, this is another one where there was a romance that didn't work out before, and now our main character is working at her mother's store that she never thought she would be doing again, and next thing you know, I think it's the old love interest shows up willing to help her. He's rescued her before, and now he needs help. And so she's trying to decide if she can rescue him as well, I think. I'm not really sure. It seems like it's another one of those kind of like Every Summer After where they've known each other before, had a falling out for some reason, and now they're rekindling that. I'm down for one of those. I like it. So I'll definitely be picking Meet Me at the Lake up. This is supposed to come out on May 2nd, 2023. Okay, so the next one is what I'm super excited about, but I'm still having to work towards it. It is The Chalice of the Gods by Rick Riordan. So it is another Percy Jackson book. I just reread Heroes of Olympus, and in 2023 I'm also kind of hoping to get through all of his other series that have come out since, because I've never read any of those. But The Chalice of the Gods is going straight back to our original trio. Percy's trying to get recommendation letters for college, and in order to do so, he's got to help Zeus out with 3 quests. I think it's going to be so much fun to come back to a good old-fashioned Annabeth Grover and Percy trio story, so I'm really excited about that. And this is supposed to come out on September 26, 2023. And the last book that I'm really excited about that's coming out in 2023 is the third book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. There's not a title yet. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna finish this really quickly. My dog has been at the hospital and they just called me and told me I could come get him. But the last one is the untitled book in the third book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. There's not a date yet, but it is supposed to come out in 2023, and it will pick up with After Ballad of Never After. That book had me wrecked. I was begging for a third book, so I will be very excited when this one comes out. That was really fast, but I'm gonna go pick up my dog now because I miss him and I am happy to finally have him home. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.